Good evening, folks, or early evening. Tim Cummins Sr., Kentucky Basketball Recruiting Report, and also Big Tim's High School Basketball Review. DeAndre Williams, transfer from Evansville, picks Memphis. Not really a surprise, especially since Kentucky backed off the recruitment. I didn't know till earlier this week he's 24 years old. My goodness. Maybe he ought to try to go to the NBA. But I've heard he's still trying to see what the NBA says. I mean, it's going to be tough for him to get drafted. He goes to Memphis next year and comes out as a 25-year-old. It's like, I don't know. But, I mean, maybe he should take his chances with the NBA and try to go the G League route up the ranks to the NBA, but it's still going to be hard with him being 24 years old and trying to get to the NBA. But it's his decision, and he's picked Memphis if he ends up going back to college. So, like I said, I had heard Kentucky backed off. I'm sure a lot of other people had heard that same thing, that Kentucky had backed off the recruitment. He's 6'10". I think a lot of it, too, why Kentucky backed off is he was trying to dictate where he plays on the court and how many minutes he wants to play. John Calipari doesn't do that. The Kentucky staff will not take that. So since the Kentucky staff won't take that sort of thing, you got to come in and earn your minutes. You're going to play where Kentucky wants you to play, where Coach Cal wants you to play on the floor. The kid, I guess he's listed 6'10", so Kentucky could have played him as a big or, moved him around. But that's up to Kentucky and Coach Cal, what they want to do with that. It's not up to the kid or the recruit or the transfer to dictate that. Kentucky's not going to be dictated to like that. You got to come in and earn everything you get. So that's just how it is coming to Kentucky and playing basketball. You got to earn what you get. I guess he had talked about, or his mentor actually had talked about that he had wanted to play on the perimeter, play small forward, shooting guard or whatever. Kentucky already has plenty of those. I think Kentucky was looking for somebody to not replace, but if Olivier Sarr is not eligible for some reason, some kind of backup plan as far as that. And I know, people are saying, well, we have Lance Ware and Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, I mean, Lance Ware, I think more could play a 5. I'm saying this once again, Isaiah Jackson is not a 5, folks. He is a 3/4. If he gets stronger and learns how to hold his position, maybe he can play some minutes at the 5. But don't expect that. Don't expect that from him. That's not what he is. He's more of a 3/4 guy. That's what Isaiah Jackson is. And I feel we need another guy that's going to play as a big in that spot, that 5 spot, to back up just in case Olivier Sarr is not ruled eligible. I've heard some rumblings that Efron Reid is rethinking the reclassification from 2021 to 2020. That'd be the guy, I would want. I don't know if he's still on Coach Cal's radar. I know they had said something about Maryland was trying to get Efron Reid to reclassify and come there. That would be my ideal choice right now of what's out there. And I've said this before. I like Efron Reid's game. I think he's a guy that can come in and play right away at Kentucky. He's one of those guys, you don't need him to score, but he can score. He can rebound, he can rim protect, and play the pick and roll. So, that's the guy all along that I've wanted to come in case Sarr is not ruled eligible. Got to have a backup plan as far as that. So that's my take on that. I still think maybe Efron Reid would be the guy. And there, like I said, there have been rumblings that he may end up reclassifying. He hasn't decided anything as far as that yet. Makur, I still think he's NBA bound. He said not NBA bound, but professional bound. He said today that UCLA is the leader if he goes to college, and that's natural. He's out there. It's only an hour away from his house. They have more playing time available to him than Kentucky might. I mean, he would be a good guy to have just in case Sarr is not ruled eligible. I mean, he'd be a good guy to have, but looks like he's looking for playing time, and he's looking to showcase his skills for the NBA. He's not a project. He's not a guy that wants to stay 2-3 years. So he may want some assurances that he's going to get playing time. And once again, you're not going to have that assurance if you come to Kentucky. You're going to have to earn everything you get. Makur would be ideal for that spot. He would be ideal, but I still think, like I said in my last video, I still think he is got a professional mindset that he's going to play pro ball next year. I don't see him coming to college. And he has said right now, if he does come to college, UCLA is the leader. So I'm not going to look for him as a option for Kentucky. And like somebody pointed out earlier, Makur does not have an offer from Kentucky. I mean, there's interest, but Kentucky has not officially offered Makur a scholarship. So you got to look at that also and what's going on with that situation. So, I mean, to me right now, I don't think Makur is a realistic option. That could change, but I don't think so. Like I said in the last video, I think he has a professional mindset. And once you have a professional mindset as a ball player, it's hard to get your mind around, okay, now I want to go to college, be an amateur, and be under the NCAA's thumb, going to classes and such. Now, his guardian, I think his name's Ed Smith, had said that he's not going to have any problems NCAA eligibility-wise. We'll see if he even goes that route. I still think, once again, that he is going to end up going a professional route. And I know they're saying right now the G League's not an option. They may look at that again, but I'm thinking more Australia, the NBL league over there. He's from Australia, so he get to have some time with his family while playing pro ball and getting paid. So that's what you need to look at there with Makur. He's a 7-foot center, more of a center. I know people want to say, oh, he can play point guard. He may be able to, but Kentucky don't need him to do that. They need him in the interior, rim protecting, blocking shots, rebounding, and scoring occasionally. So right now, that's what's out there. There may be some others out there that we don't know about that Cal is looking at. But right now, I mean, it's not a real desperate situation. We do have Sarr, but that's something that we don't know what's going to go on with that. So that's where we're at. And that's probably what's next with Kentucky, is that probably they'll look at maybe Efron Reid. And like I said, Makur is on the radar, but I'm not convinced. I think he's going pro. He's going to be a pro. At some point, he'll make that decision this year, and he'll be playing professional ball somewhere next season, the 2020-2021 season. So that's really it. I think that's all the subjects that I wanted to hit on. That DeAndre Williams picked Memphis, and the options that are next for Kentucky. Like I said, maybe a Efron Reid, possibly reclassifying. And Makur, it's still, has Kentucky on the radar. I just think he's going to be a professional next season. So that's what we're looking at. And anybody, please subscribe to my page. This is one we'll be doing my videos from now on. I'm not going to give Facebook any kind of play. So this is one my videos will be from now on. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you want to subscribe, I'll be giving out all kind of news as I get it. And sometimes even before others get it, I'll come on and talk about that. So it's a Kentucky basketball recruiting report YouTube page, and feel free to make some comments on the page. Make some comments if you agree, if you disagree, if you think Makur is more in play than I may be thinking. Go ahead and make that comment. Like I said, comments are open, and even a live chat. I can do a live chat here. I do have the live chat up for anybody that wants to do a live chat with me on here, and I can answer your recruiting questions or anything of that nature. So, it's funny. Frank Anselem has not made a decision yet. I know he's not on Kentucky's radar anymore for reasons that I've talked about before. But it's funny, he hasn't even made a decision on a school yet. I guess he's still weighing his options too. So Kentucky's not one of them, but he's still weighing his options. I find that interesting. And I find the other thing interesting too. This was like 3 weeks ago. Jonathan Kuminga was going to announce his top 5. He still hasn't announced his top 5, man. Well, he said soon. I guess for him, soon means maybe a month or 2 months later. So that's what we're looking at there. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I'm supposed to be talking about the class 2021 targets now. Right now, you're looking at the guard position, Jaden Hardy out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Corona. It's funny, we got the coronavirus. Coronado High School, Coronado, Coronado, Coronado High School. So close to the coronavirus type thing with the first few letters of each word. But he is a 6'4" combo guard. He's one of those guys that can play either position. Okay. He actually played point last year for Las Vegas Elite on the EYBL travel circuit, the 17 under. And so he can play point guard. For his high school team, he had to be a scorer. He had a 64-point game, and then he was kind of shut down the national TV game that they played. I think it was Bishop Gorman they played on national TV. But, I mean, they're always loaded, Bishop Gorman. So, but this kid, he's another dynamic guard. Looks like Kentucky is the favorite right now in his recruitment. Any crystal balls, I think, has Kentucky. Let's see. Oh, Paolo Banchero got a crystal ball pick for Kentucky the other day. He's 6'9", forward from Seattle, from O'Day High School, Seattle, Washington. He plays for Seattle Rotary on the Nike EYBL circuit when they do actually have a circuit, if they're going to even have one this spring, summer. So you got Paolo Banchero out there. Possibly Moussa Cisse if he stays in 2021. He's out of Memphis, Lasan School, Memphis, 6'11" forward center. And he's looking to reclass right now to 2020 possibly. But And that Lausanne school is the same school that Scala BCA came out of. So there's a connection there, even though Scal may not have done as well at Kentucky as people would have thought. But that's a connection there. So you have that one. Cisse is one. You got Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. He is a 2022 right now. He's from Clarksville, Tennessee. They're looking to reclass him to 2021. Kentucky wants him to reclass to 2021 and come to Kentucky. And he's close to a lock for Kentucky. He's close to a lock. So I've not heard anything different on that. But they're trying to move him up. Patrick Baldwin Jr. out of Sussex Hamilton High School, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 6'10" forward. I know Kentucky offered him, and Kentucky made his top 10. I'm still saying for him, it's going to be Duke or Wisconsin, Milwaukee. One of those two for him. So that's probably, if you want to count Kuminga as 2021, you can. I think he's going to reclass of 2020. And I would not be surprised if he took the G League route. If he reclassed of 2020 and went the G League route, I would not be surprised if that happens. So, but if you want to put him as 2021, that's fine. That's what he currently is. I just don't think he's going to stay 2021. So there you go. And then we're going to have others that will come into play with 2021. We'll be set pretty well with that class. Some wings with that class that will be on Kentucky's radar. Well, you got, I can't forget Kennedy Chandler from Memphis, the point guard, the explosive point guard. He dunked on Jaden Green at the Peach Jam Finals championship game. That was nasty. I was up close and personal for that one. That was nasty. Kennedy Chandler, Duke, probably Tennessee. Kentucky's, on the radar. I know he did a Zoom call, I think, yesterday with Kentucky. I think he did one with Memphis, too, possibly. But, apparently I heard his dream school is Duke, so we'll see what happens there. Then other analysts are saying Tennessee is probably ahead. I know he's trying to pair with Paolo Banchero. They're trying to do a package deal. Usually those packages don't work. I think it worked once. Tyus Jones and Jahlil Okafor. I think that's it. It's the only time it worked. So I never put stock into these package deals at all. I don't think this one will be a package. I think they will make their decisions independent of each other. And if they end up at the same school, great. But I think their decisions will be independent. They gotta look out for their own best interests. So there you go. But I like Kennedy Chandler. He's an explosive point guard, man. He is ridiculously explosive and has a good jump shot. Can get where he wants to on the court. And he plays for Mo Canny League on the Nike EYBL circuit. So a lot of our recruits are Nike EYBL, so it makes sense. Kentucky's a Nike school, so. But those are some of the 2021 targets that Kentucky is looking at, and that's right off the top of my head. Okay, this one, I didn't go do research. These 2021 targets are off the top of my head for Kentucky. And I know I always mention in the Kentucky Basketball Recruitment Report room, I always mention Chet Holmgren, the 7-foot guard forward center from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Minnehaha Academy. Evan Daniels talked to him, I think Wednesday, did an interview of his schools, and of course, no mention of Kentucky. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's going to be interesting. If Jonathan Kuminga, which I think he will, reclasses to 2020, there's a good chance Chet Holmgren will be the number one player in the country in the class of 2021. When has Kentucky really passed up on recruiting the number one player in a class? I mean, Evan Mobley's a little bit different because his dad was assistant coach at USC. So that was a little bit different in this recruiting cycle of 2020. But usually Coach Cal doesn't pass up, some kind of interest or even offering a kid that is the number one ranked player in a class. This would be something I would think unprecedented outside of the unusual situations. And like I said, that Evan Mobley, his dad's assistant at USC, that is an unusual situation going on there. But it's going to be interesting if Chet Holmgren eventually gets up to that number one spot in the class of 2021. And if Coach Cal ends up passing up on him for some reason. Now, I have heard that from some people that I've talked to that some reason Coach Cal doesn't recruit really grassroots sizzle players. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think the people that run that grassroots sizzle believe that for some reason. So I don't know if that's true or if there's some kind of issue going on there. But I don't think you can pass up on recruiting this kid. But it's looking right now, Kentucky probably will pass up on it because they haven't offered him yet. I mean, I think they talked to him once. I think they did an in-home last fall or something with him because they were in the area. But we'll see what happens with that. And if there be something unprecedented here that Coach Cal will pass up on the number one recruit in a class. So we'll see. I still think, just my opinion, I think he's going to end up at Memphis, Chet Holmgren, unless something crazy goes on with that situation. But I think that's where he's going to eventually end up. That could be wrong. I have not heard anything as far as him, definitely going to Memphis. But I have heard that they are on him real tough. So usually they're on a kid real tough like that. He ends up going to Memphis. So, I mean, Jalen Green would have gone to Memphis, but he went the G League route. He took that money. So, otherwise, like I said always, that Jalen Green was going to be Memphis or overseas at the time. But he ended up going professional and doing the G League route. So, and I heard the G League's going to get one more player. One or two more players. I know one of them is supposed to be an international type player, so we'll see what happens there. All right, I'm done for the evening with the recording for this evening. And once again, just to review, DeAndre Williams has picked Memphis. If he ends up going there, I don't know, because he may end up just staying in the NBA draft. He's a unique situation being 24 years old. So there you go. God bless to everyone. Peace to the creatures. Big Blue Nation.